is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at upnradio.com.
Welcome to the National Safe Child Show, addressing the health, safety, and welfare of all children nationwide, because it shouldn't hurt to be a child. Here is your host, Tammy Stefano.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to the National Safe Child Show. I am so excited for this evening's show because we have our first child in the studio. And I want to, yes, absolutely. I want to welcome Naya. Naya has a lot to say, and we want to give her the center stage because she can't stay the whole time with us. And we have her grandfather, I'm going to introduce quickly, Donnie D, Words of Wisdom. He has a show, and he is so involved with keeping children safe, with making noise for the rights of people, and he's going to speak about that. And we have Marsha D, and Marsha is going to tell us, and I'm going to leave the introductions to them and let them get into it. But first and foremost, because this is a show all for the safety of children, Naya takes center stage tonight, folks. So pull that microphone right into you, sweetheart, and introduce yourself. And you are on camera. And go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Naya.
And
I own a show on Donnie D Words of Wisdom. It's called Kids Corner, and what I do is talk about like what I want to do when I grow up and tell kids to follow your dreams or don't do negative things.
That's so awesome. So I was asking Naya to tell us about something that if a friend came up to you in school or in the neighborhood and they said something that you thought was kind of negative, what would you do? Like, what's a negative thing? Can you share something?
What I will do is I would tell them off.
Tell them off. You would tell them strongly, right? Okay, and you would tell them off, tell them strongly what? Don't do it?
Don't do that again or else something bad's going to happen.
That's right. Something bad's going to happen because when you do bad things, right, bad things happen. Mm-hmm. And when you do good things, like follow your dreams, good things happen. So you have Kids Corner. I think that is so awesome. Is that like your first dream that has really come to be? Yeah?
Yeah.
And do you feel like a superstar when you're on?
Yeah, but usually I don't go on because or else I'll fall asleep or I can't make it to the show.
I got you. So a dream that you have for the future is, I heard a little bit, you want to what?
Sing and act.
You want to be a singer and an actress. So I know that the audience is wondering about your voice, and just I know that they're like keeping their fingers crossed, saying, I hope that she just sings a little bit. So can you sing a little verse or two for us?
I'll sing one verse.
Oh, well, thank you.
Deep down under the sea, swim around happily, and you're just too wild for me. Yeah.
Wow. Folks, this is just awesome.
Did you write that song?
Mm-hmm, with my cousin.
Okay.
This is your own. You composed this. You thought of all the words. Wow. That's even doubly better. I thought I was just getting old and just didn't know the tune. But this tune is original. That is awesome. So Kids Corner, who would you like to invite? What age group do you focus on? How old are you?
8.
You're 8? Mm-hmm. So what age groups would you like to speak to when you're speaking on your show? Maybe other 8-year-olds?
You probably go by 6s.
6? A little bit younger, right? So that you can be the boss lady.
No, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll
Yeah.
invite like older people.
You'll invite older?
Yeah.
Because they give the best donations. We got it. Okay. All right. We're getting this right down pat. We're getting this right down pat. Is there anything that you want to say? Because I have a lot of listeners. And is there anything that you would like to say to their kids? Do you know what this show is about, right?
Yeah.
What is it about?
It's about it's all about kids when Donnie D takes a break. So he asked me that if I could do my own show on the radio.
Wow.
What is her show about?
Listen, folks, she's taking the spotlight right now, and it really doesn't matter what I ask because she's promoting right now, and good for you. Good for you.
She's taught well.
Yes.
Her show is about keeping children safe.
Oh, my God.
Right.
I love her. She is so sweet. That's right, and that's really important, right?
Yeah.
So we want you to spread the message on your show that if any kids just don't feel safe, that they got to call this show. Folks, you know our number, 323-843-2826. Or they got to call the Donnie D Show. Donnie D, do you have a number that they call in?
Yes, indeed. My number is 646-595-3338. That's 646-595-3338.
Oh, my gosh. I think that I'm really going to consider now because this is really the way to go. Once a month, we should have kids on.
Good idea.
This is the way to go, the Kids Corner. I'm so impressed with you. I really am so impressed with you. 8 years old and already wiser than many of the adults that I know.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Donnie D,
Yes.
introduce yourself and let's chat a little bit. Oh, we have a caller. I'm sorry. We did. Okay, the caller, I'm so sorry. Please call back in. Okay.
Okay, yeah, my name is Franklin Donnie D, and I have a show called Donnie D's Words of Wisdom on Saturday nights. And we also have Donnie D's Soul Sundays, where we basically play old school music. But getting back to the Donnie D's Words of Wisdom, we like to explore things in the government, corruption. We like to talk about things that we can do to improve the community.
That's right.
We like to talk about the children's courts, things that are going on with the children that actually no one really knows about.
That's right.
So basically, we hit a lot of different avenues, and then we always know that there's one up above that is stronger than all of us, and then that's when Marsha Dees comes in with her words of inspiration.
Yes.
Go get him, Marsha.
Okay, so I've had an opportunity to host Words of Inspiration.
Excellent.
And it's so wonderful for me to do because I am like a born-again Christian.
Right.
I was a Catholic.
Right.
And was missing so much. Donnie D took me to a Christian revival, and
Excellent.
it was so shocking to me to
Right.
see people actually out of their chairs and worshiping and everything. So,
And saying more than and also to you,
Right.
also for you, yeah.
yeah. So
up and down.
Yeah.
you know, and I had felt there was something more.
Right.
So anyway, years later, he decided to follow his dream, which was his radio show.
Excellent.
And I got to help him start that and help him out with it. And,
Excellent.
And he asked me to do this little thing with Words of Inspiration, and it just kind of took off. I've been so happy to be able to have guests on my show. I've had some ministers and gospel singers.
Excellent.
And a good friend of ours who was our Bible study teacher has been on, and we do a Bible study every other week.
And what time is your show on?
It's a little different
Okay.
each week, but we do promo it, so you
Okay.
know what time my segment is going to come on.
Where can the people find the promo?
Well, that's usually on Facebook.
Okay.
It's usually on Facebook.
Where specific? Because Facebook
Okay,
is
they
vast.
can go to they can go to the Franklin Lewis page.
Franklin Lewis.
Timeline. They can go to Marsha Duran.
Okay.
They can find us there. There's also some side ones. There's radio. There's Words of Wisdom, and there's Single Mother's Guide, which Marsha forgot to mention that she edited the book for me.
And we're going to talk about your book because this is important stuff. Excellent, excellent.
So I've been it's really taken off, and I love it, and it's
I'm
very special.
Yeah, and I'm going to be sending people over because we all need
Wonderful.
prayer.
Wonderful.
And we're covering. We have a caller. Hi, caller. Are you on with us? Hello, hello.
Hi, Tammy. This is Amy, and I have Eugene and Bill on the line with me.
Hi, folks. How are you? Boy,
Love you, girl.
Good.
we are one big happy family tonight.
Oh,
This is awesome. This
we
is
always are. We just fake it.
yeah.
Like real families.
That's right.
Hello.
We have Naya. I don't know.
Hey, Admiral.
Hey,
Do we have Donnie D? Do we have Johnny D on the line?
Yes, we have
Yes,
Donnie
we
D. He's
do.
right here. Amy, how you doing out there?
Are we live? Are we live?
We're live right now. Yes, we are.
Donnie,
We're live.
Yes.
I want an
Donnie-
autograph.
Yes, I want to talk about Donnie D's book. You know, it's the single mom's guide to raising black children. But in the times that we're in now, the book is actually for everyone.
Absolutely. But hold that thought for a moment, honey, because we're
Ain't that, tell me, is that a great thought?
that is an awesome talk.
Oh,
We're moving right into that.
you
right
gotta
in.
like me, Amy.
Okay. Marcia, because Marcia is going to be leaving us, so we want to touch on a couple of issues that are really important. Not that the most important issue actually is the issue that you touched on already. However, an issue relative to what we are fighting each and every day is you work for the school department, correct?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about what you do for the school department.
Well, I work in for health programs. I'm at one of the elementary schools and a middle school.
Okay.
So I work alongside with the nurse. She's in and out 3 times a day because they don't hire enough nurses to have a nurse at every school, so they rely on us. And so we man the fort there all day. Basic first aid, and of course we're CPR certified and everything. So, but you also do some counseling while you're in there.
I would imagine so in this day and age.
And
Not surprising.
Yeah, and you hear a lot of sad stories about kids who are going through, family breakups and things like that. So when a child comes in and you know that they're going through something like that, you kind of take them under your wing.
Yeah.
Because they need that special mother touch.
Sure.
And
They need some nurturing. They need some nurturing. They're void of the nurturing for whatever reason.
Yes.
When you and Donnie D, you are a teacher.
Yes.
And what grade level?
Okay, I teach
You
special
can pull this, you can pull this.
Okay, let me
It's
move it.
wonderful.
See, at my studio, we don't have this luxury. But I work at a high school in Pasadena where I teach in special education. But I look at my role on campus as a bigger role than just that one classroom.
That's right.
When I walk through the campus, the students of all races and genders address me as Brother Lewis. So,
nice.
yeah, I'm Brother Lewis.
Yeah.
And first of all, it's from my Lord Jesus Christ. And then second of all, I'm an activist in the community in which I've been since the late 60s as a teenager, growing up with such organizations as Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, the US organization.
Wow.
Then, we had SDS. we had a lot of different organizations, and and SDS and Black Panthers joined together.
Mm-hmm.
They got knocked out the sky.
Yes.
The FBI just had to get rid of them. Too much power.
Too much power.
Yeah, too much power.
And too much unity.
Yeah, we can't have that. We have to have them broken up, split up, divided, and let everybody fight amongst themselves.
That's right.
But
That's
we'll
right.
we'll hit on that later too, folks.
Oh, yes. Okay. Mandated reporting. You're seeing the injuries. You're comforting children. Do they ever push when you see injuries, when children disclose? Does the school department push for you to call the authorities?
Yeah, we have to.
You have to.
have to.
Have you ever been told not to?
No.
No. Would it surprise you that I have had dozens of teachers tell me I was told not to do it? I am very upset. I saw injuries that was so egregious, and I was told that I can't take pictures, which you can, because I went and looked up the law after that. Teachers, you can take pictures of the students. It is even a requirement, okay?
And the sad part about that is if it gets past the school and say it ends up in the court system, now it's going to come back to Marsha Duran. How come you didn't report this?
That's right.
And well, my
6
supervisor,
months mandatory.
Yeah. My supervisor told me not to, but regardless of that, you are mandated to do this.
That's right.
Well, the nurse that I work with, it has to be documented. Anything we see on a child,
Okay.
and of course, there's usually two of us that
Yeah.
will look at it.
That's right. God
And
bless
we
you,
have
baby.
we have to document it, and then that way, if it goes any further than that, we've seen it, we've documented it.
Right.
And we don't overlook anything.
So you've seen it, you document it, but who makes the phone call? Is that you?
No.
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 So you
It-
believe
it's-
that the phone calls are being
It's
made.
taken- okay.
Well, that's the reality, because I've had teachers that believed dozens of times they did the right thing to the point that it then got taken by a superior, by somebody who was in charge of making those calls, and lo and behold, they never were made.
Well, fortunately, at the school I'm at,
Okay.
they are on top of it. So once we see it and we speak to the principal. I mean,
I'm gonna go like this,
We're
folks.
like, yeah, the few cases that I've seen have been,
Right. Have been.
followed through.
Got you.
Yeah, followed
Got
through.
you.
So I'm
Okay.
glad I haven't seen a lot.
Yes.
To tell you the truth.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
But, it's
Wow.
already-
Yeah. Pretty brutal. It can be pretty
It can
brutal.
be,
Yes,
you
for the
know.
little kids.
Yeah.
Naya, has any... Go ahead.
Some of the situations are uncalled for, though. Some of these children are ending up in juvenile, group homes. And Donnie D had touched a little bit on that on one of the shows. And I was hoping he could elaborate on that for the listeners.
We are, but we're gonna have Naya go out and sit in our lovely green room, because I don't want to get too deep and dark with a beautiful young lady here. Oh, wait a minute. That's it? No, mwah, no kiss to the audience. So you're right there. Oh.
Bye-bye,
Naya.
caller.
It was so nice having you, Naya. We are so blessed. Thank you, sweetheart. Do you know where the room is? Okay. Can you close the door for us, too? You got it? Okay.
I'm going to go with her.
You're going to go with her? Okay.
So I'll sit out there with her.
All right.
Anything else?
Any last words? We're so grateful that you've come.
Oh, no, just that I'm just so happy to be a part of the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for having me here today.
Tthank you.
And hope we can come back.
Of course you can come back. Absolutely.
High five on that.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
There goes my buddy.
These
All right,
are-
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, these are lovely, lovely people. We're going to get into talking a lot more about the school system. You know, there are some school systems that are good, you know, and there's some that are not so good. So, obviously, Mosh is working for one that is a better school system. Okay. Now we're going to get into the deep
Nitty gritty.
John, should Donnie come closer? Is he good or what? He's good? Okay. Good. We're going to be far away, but the energy, there is no separation.
None whatsoever.
Okay. All right. So, let's get deep down.
Let's do that.
Okay. Let's talk about your students first. And Amy, I want to touch on the book and give me one more minute. I want to touch on the classrooms.
Okay, you know, in the classrooms that I work in, it is mostly when I first started, it was all males, and at the time it was all black males.
Wow.
And then a female would one or two would creep in as the years went by, and then we started getting Hispanic boys and girls into those special day classes. But what I have found out in these special day classes, a lot of times kids are sent there, and I put this in my book, that it's for behavior. And behavior is not a reason to qualify you for special education.
That's for sure.
Yeah, basically what you get is a kid that's somewhat unruly, I might say, but the teacher can't handle him. And so the teacher's sending him out, calling up, you know, doing this and that. The parents are nowhere to be found in a lot of cases. And that's just the way it is. But when they get to that point, then they'll call in a psychologist. And a psychologist, they'll cry the blues to a psychologist. I can't take him no more. I can't take him no more. Okay, let's send him to special ed.
Wow.
And then you got that jacket on you for the rest of your life. You got the yellow bus coming picking you up. You get kids on campus teasing you. You get, you know, it just puts you in a whole different world. Your self-esteem drops. And then you say, well, if I am this bad kid they're talking about, maybe I should just go on and be this bad kid.
That's right.
Let me put on my red rag or my blue rag
Yeah.
and blood a crip and let me do what I got to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the real deal.
This is the real deal, man. I'm not holding nothing back.
Wow.
Yeah. Straight, no chaser. And I see it every day. I try to, I minister to a lot of the kids, which, you know, they say not to, but I see kids who just want somebody to reach out and say, hey, man, what you doing?
Yes.
You know, what you doing? This is a way to do it. I said, I'm not perfect. But
Nobody is.
Right.
Nobody
I'm not
is.
perfect, but I've been through some of the stuff and probably 10 times more things that you've going through, and I made it, man.
That's right.
You can make it. You know.
Is this an inner city school?
Yeah, well, I'm going to say it's Pasadena School District.
Okay.
You know, and it's considered by the state of California as an inner city school.
Yeah.
So they get a little extra funding.
Yeah, of course. It's all
Yes.
about the funding.
It's all about the money.
Label it properly and you
Yes.
get some extra money there.
Right.
Wow. That really, you know, I was not so familiar with this, and this is an issue. I mean, we know we've got the bullying. You know, we've got the kids that are committing suicide.
Right.
We've got the low self-esteem. And then we've got the adults in the system actually pushing children into that very situation.
Of course, and they're pushing them in there because, first of all, once they get into special ed, there's federal funds for that.
Yeah.
They go to that. Then, you know, a lot of people say that the special ed classes and the high schools are just a pipeline to the penitentiaries because, you know, you're not really learning too much. There's some success stories, but you're not really learning too much. And, you know, you're out there really getting in a lot of trouble in, you know, statistics. I don't go by statistics, but a lot of these young men that I've worked with, I've been there for 32 years. And a lot of them are passed on, have been shot, killed in drive-bys or just gang violence, or they're in the penitentiary, you know. And it's really sad because, you know, it could have been avoided way back when. And throwing them in them special ed classes, in my opinion, is a form of some type of genocide to me.
That's right.
Personally, because once you start that kid on that path, where he's going to end up. From the toothpick to the warden, there's money being made.
That's right.
There's money being made. You got to keep those beds warm.
This is a financially incentivized life that we're living in, and if the money's not being made, everybody's scattered.
Exactly.
They don't want to be involved.
Exactly.
Show me the money. Tom Cruise. What's
Oh yeah.
God, Gooding. Cuba Gooding Jr.
I can't think of the name of the movie.
Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, but the movie was
Jerry
called
Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. Leave it to Eugene.
Yo, Mr. Smooth. Eugene.
Smooth talker.
Smooth. You need to be behind these mics, man.
But
Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
But Eugene brings on our show. Eugene brings out a point that a lot of these kids that are in the juvenile system.
That's right.
Or they come in, and the first thing they're offered is a plea deal, and then they tell you, well, if you don't take this plea deal, you go against the jury, and if you get found guilty, they're going to give you the max. Well, I didn't do it. Well,
you want to take that chance?
Well, then the thing is, there's tapes rolling. There's audio, there's audio, then you got visual tapes going, right. And a lot of people don't know about that. And, if they don't match, something wrong. And if everybody got a chance to get their tapes, they'd have to empty out those prisons, basically. And they're not about to do that.
That's right. They're building the prisons.
They're building private prisons.
Building prisons right now. Their intention, their direction is not to rehabilitate people. It's not preventative. It's how do we maintain enough status quo of criminality that we have made and allowed and pushed for,
right,
to justify folks. And I want to tell you, I looked at the new numbers yesterday or the day before. HHS, Health and Human Services, although they cover an expansion of things relative to the safety of people. Take a guess, guys. We've got 3 people on the line. We've got Donnie, we've got John, myself. I know the answer. How much HHS, Health and Human Services in the United States, how much are they bringing in? How much do taxpayers pay per year for this machine to run? And child welfare is under HHS. Eugene?
Billions.
How much?
A few billion.
I would say trillions a year.
Trillions
I think it's 12 trillion.
You think it's
12 trillion? That's unbelievable.
John?
But you know how you start that, don't you? You start that because you take out the black gang leaders who are trying maybe to do something and hold stuff down in their community, and you let the other ones run rampant and kill each other.
You kill the activists. You shoot the Martin Luther Kings. Right. You push down the Rosa Parks. You get rid of the John F. Kennedy. You shoot them down.
And then you bring in the drugs to the community.
That's right.
You
bring in the drugs
to the community. That's what they
leaders,
do.
Donnie.
Yeah.
We got no leaders. You ran rampant. All the gangs are war on one another because everybody's trying to get ahead. When you had the older guys running the show, they controlled it a lot better. Communities weren't hurt that much.
Well,
that's what they done. That's what they done in Iraq with Saddam Hussein.
Well, when you've got drugs pumped into the community, and a community that is down anyway with economically.
That's right.
Everybody's looking to make a buck.
That's right.
And lives are lost every day on that. Now, I always said, I don't know any guys in the neighborhood that are flying down to Colombia or what other countries bringing cocaine back to South Central.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not happening. And then when the arrests come, now for powder cocaine, it's a misdemeanor, if I do believe. But for the crack
under a certain amount.
Right. But the crack cocaine is a felony, which will take your job. It will keep you from getting a job.
That's right.
It does. Your citizenship is in jeopardy for a minute.
That's right.
So you can't job. You can't vote.
You can't collect welfare.
You can't vote.
You can't collect welfare if you have a felony.
Yeah.
So if you're a female Who's bringing in the drugs? Well, there's so much propaganda out there. We can call it propaganda. I'm taking on the new slogan that Ted Gunderson, former FBI guy here in Los Angeles, he said, they say it's a conspiracy theory. I am telling you, folks, having run the Los Angeles Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, it is a conspiracy reality.
Exactly.
Not a theory.
No.
Theories are thoughts that haven't culminated. Realities, we can touch. I can knock on this table because it's really here.
Yeah, well, there's a guy named Freeway Rick. And I know some people out there have heard of Freeway. Now he's, trying to repent. Good for you, brother. But a lot of lost lives have, gone because of some of your activity. Tookie Williams, another one. But, these guys were put into position to bring havoc into the community.
Yes.
And once they brought that havoc into the community, which gave the police departments the go-ahead to do what you must. Hands up, don't shoot, don't mean a thing. Cameras on the cops don't mean a thing.
Doesn't mean anything.
You're running from the cop and there's a broken tail light, or maybe you got something you're running from, shoot you in the back 8 times, throw down your taser. I mean, this stuff has been happening for years and years, and only until Rodney King, when someone pulled out a camera and filmed it. Then they want to tell you, you didn't see what you saw. I was holding him down. I wasn't stomping on him. The best thing we have right now is cell phones. Because they have the cameras.
That's right. And good cameras.
Good cameras.
I had a conversation last night, and I'm saying, who has really made a change? And not to push down any Caucasians, but the real movements, think about that. I mean, guys, help me out here. Because me and my girlfriend were on the phone, and I'm going, we have the real movements that moved a nation.
Correct.
That changed the world, okay, drastically. I'm not talking little tidbits. I'm talking a drastic, major movement. It has always come through, the African Americans. Guys, tell me what? Somebody's breathing. Talk to me.
Talk to us.
Yeah, you want, if I can get something out there, yeah, let me tell you, it is true, the African American community, because they knew they were being cheated by the courts a long time ago, but couldn't prove it. And the point was, we went in there to try to get the transcript, which we got to show the fraud, and now maybe the public people understand that all the black people are not guilty.
Exactly.
Not all the black people are not guilty. Some of them are not. Some of the whites are not. Some of the Asians. That's right.
No, but it started as a black thing. Then when they wanted more and more money, they went into the Hispanics, and now they're going into the whites. So the money's there for it. The prisons are there for it, so you need more trade.
You're
this
right.
is like slavery without the boat ride.
No, this is,
good way to put it.
Yeah, without the boat ride. You're absolutely right.
And let me tell you, that's why I stood in there and I got the forged transcript. You guys can put it up on your show so that we can realize that they forged all the way to the Supreme Court and we're not BSing them. And
Eugene is talking about, folks, when you go to court, when you are accused, we've covered this, but we're going to cover it in more detail. When you're accused of a crime, you pay the money, the incredulous amount of money for these transcripts that the stenographers charge you, and then you damn well know you were waiting to save up that money to get that transcript because you're waiting for that one line that is going to sink them, whether it be the judge, prosecution, opposing counsel, whoever it is, okay? Whoever you're defending yourself, and all of a sudden you look in that transcript and there's nothing there.
Yes.
It's gone, and you damn well know you've been dreaming about this. You're singing about it, and it's gone.
Yeah.
So what Eugene is saying, death of
the justice system.
Yes.
The
death of the justice system. And this is the book, folks, that you've got to get because this is exposing that it's real, that every courtroom has audio and visual. Well, here's how you can put the question to rest. Go on YouTube and just pull up some court cases and watch the judge, because who the hell's filming it? This isn't Hollywood cases. I'm talking about regular old, normal civilian court cases.
Right.
And something happens in there. Boy, oh boy, they've got the audio and the video then, don't they?
Yes. And it's not...
Tammy, Tim, you got to realize the reason why they're doing that.
Oh, I know the reason why. We're talking. Donnie said genocide.
No.
You're saying slavery.
No, not only that, but here's the deal. They don't want you to know that they're doing it on purpose. They want you to think that they're getting witnesses that point these guys out and do this stuff.
Right.
It's them changing the transcript. Once you get the transcript and you show that that's been changed, then it's systemic. It doesn't come from outside witnesses. That means it's 9 times. It means they're doing it on purpose. They're at fault for this. If they send somebody to the chair, to the electric chair, or get the needle, they're committing murder.
Absolutely. And we know that murders have been committed. Listen, today, and then Amy, I am not forgetting about you because we're going to touch on this book in 1 second. But today, in Los Angeles Times, folks, everybody has to look at this. Los Angeles Police Department arrest a woman. Now, I don't know all the logistics of what happened, okay? And I know people can become belligerent and resist arrest. I get it, okay? And can you move your hand exactly? No, you can't. You know, somebody might get a scrape, and that's just the reality when you're scuffling.
Oh, yeah.
But this police officer kicked her so hard in the groin and told her beforehand, which stands for premeditation. Kicked this woman in the groin, okay, beat her, stuck her in the back, tied with the ties, you know, like we tie the garbage bags, okay, just bigger for humans.
That's what they look at it as.
Yeah, we're the garbage, so they get the bigger ties that they've made, tied her up. For half an hour, she said, I need the paramedics. He was smoking a cigarette because another police officer, their car filmed it all, not his. You know, his must have went off, right? Dysfunction, right?
I think his battery went dead.
Yeah, his battery went dead. It was a malfunction, you know, signal, satellite signal, whatever it was. Know. But another officer's car got it. Okay, and the woman died. The coroner does an autopsy, and they said, well, she had some cocaine in her system.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Even if she had snorted up a freaking
8-ball.
An 8-ball. Okay, an 8-ball. Guess what? She was asking for help. We know our bodies. We all know, okay? We go to the doctor, but we're telling them because we're feeling it. This is our body. We know. Half hour. He was standing outside. The camera caught him smoking a cigarette. It's going, oof, that doesn't look pretty good, does it? While he was looking at her, he looked inside a couple of times, joking with the guys and saying, doesn't look good.
To protect and to serve. Where did that protect and to serve? You know?
The courtrooms are supposed to give justice. Eugene says, we're not getting the justice because we are in the death of the justice system.
And as Richard Pryor once said, that is just
he can
us.
Prove they're not giving
just
justice.
Us.
Just
and
us.
Eugene says that he can prove it. And we can prove with the transcript. Donnie, you got the transcripts. I think you got them too. And once we put the book out on the market, you can put the transcripts right over the air for free and the stickums where they show that they're going to change the docket and do what they want to do. So maybe once the American people see that they're doing this right out in the open, then everybody will ask for the tapes and see it isn't a fair system.
That's right.
It's the same thing with Amy and them. Amy knows too, because Amy's pretty good on this too.
Amy's awesome
saying,
on it.
God bless you and Tammy for having shows like this, because otherwise this has been going on for 25 years, more than 25 years. I've been in here 20 years doing this, and they could have stopped it. I had this on TV. It was on Channel 7, ABC.
That's
People
right.
after 1997 could have stopped all this. We proved they were forging then. They covered it up. The U.S. attorneys covered it up.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Patronage, Tammy. Patronage.
Of course.
You got to keep your job. You got to keep your guys in place.
And that's where the social workers are patronage workers, the police officers are patronage workers, and I think Eugene made was it the Nuremberg trials, Eugene, they made patronage illegal.
You're yeah. You know what you're saying. He's saying that
what they said in the Nuremberg trials is just because your boss tells you to do it and he tells you something to do illegally, it's still illegal and unlawful.
That's right.
Right.
It doesn't make it right.
They're lying to the American people. They're lying to the American people straight out, right to their faces. They want to keep their jobs. They want to save the taxpayer dollar, but that's their dollar. The point is,
that's not the tax. No, they want to spend the taxpaying dollar. Because
Well, no,
audio
yeah,
is very cheap.
Here's-
Right?
They're
Right.
defrauding the
But-
federal government with false information on these cases.
That's right.
Setting up these poor kids, and you know, I really wanted Donnie to talk about his book.
Go
a
get
little
him,
bit
Amy. Go
because-
get him. All right,
Okay.
let's go
Good.
there.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
No,
I'm
I'm-
sorry. I
I'm-
keep pushing this
Thank
point.
No,
you,
that
thank you.
it's the time. It's the time, and thank you.
Thank you,
The
Amy.
thing is this. The thing is this.
Go get him.
They're using the kids. They're using all of our kids. It's become systemic. It's epidemic in the court system.
For sure.
And his book is not just relevant for single black mothers. It's become relevant for all single mothers. So I wanted Donnie to talk a little bit about his book too.
Go get him.
Because
Okay.
Yes. Because
Great
we're going to
comment,
run out
Amy.
of time
Great
soon.
comment.
Oh.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say the book is entitled Single Mother's Guide to Raising Black Boys. And when I wrote the book, it was for not necessarily black mothers, but for mothers of all races raising black boys because, you know, we have mothers of all races that have black male sons.
That's right.
And when they're out in the community, they're looked at as black.
That's right.
You know, so anyway, my book is not a cure-all. It's just some tips to tell your young man when he's out there to look out for. You know, for instance, you get stopped by the police. You know how to talk to the police. You know, look at his badge number. You know, let them know what you are about to do. No, just go snatching it in your pants pockets. And, you know, there's things that you can do. Finding a surrogate father. You know, a mother is a mother and cannot always take the place of a father. I was raised by a single mother. She had 5 kids, but she had help from uncles, cousins that I call surrogate fathers will step in and help teach that man to be a man. And it's gotten to the point where, you know, I see with all of these things going on with these kids are being programmed into, you know, you see kids walking around with beat headphones on all day. You don't know what they're listening to. And a lot of this stuff that they're listening to is just, in my opinion, some devil trash. And
Well, they're using the music, by the way, and I've heard it a lot lately. They're using the music to give the kids the messages that are necessary to accomplish their will.
Yeah, exactly.
Their will.
You know,
I love that.
I slapped the bee upside the head. You know, could be a lyric. And it's, you know, somebody gonna go out there and slap somebody upside the head, end up in jail, end up getting shot. But you know, that's getting back to Tammy. You know, there was a time in my younger life I worked for probation department. I worked at Central Juvenile Hall.
Donnie's done it all.
Right here in Los Angeles, in the night man. I worked at the schools during the day. And some of the stuff I saw that was going on inside of the juvenile hall was just ridiculous. Now, if I'd have stayed, I'd been retired by now. The Porsche and the big house would be there.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's not the way that was supposed to go. But these kids, I've worked in boys' homes, girls' homes, and they're some of them are just overpacked. They've got so many kids, you know, and some of these kids are in there for, you know, for what?
That's right.
What? I'll give you the answer. You know what the answer is? For money. We got to house these kids. We'll say that the mama's doing this, papa's doing that, or whatever. You know, a lot of times I know grandparents have said, I would take little Johnny.
Yeah.
Of course they know.
That's right.
They're
not interested
no.
in the grandparent or the aunt or the extended family or the mother or the father. Okay, they're interested in keeping their machine well oiled.
That's it, that machine.
It cannot be squeaky. It cannot slow down, right?
No.
You want your car to run good, you better put the oil. You want this machine to run well, you got to put the oil in. The oil is money.
Money. And the kids are
supply and demand. The kids our kids are being used.
They're the source of the money. The kids, and it all starts with the kids. You know, it starts with the kids, and then it ends up with somebody in a penitentiary or on death row. But it starts with the kids. And you know what? When I was coming up back in the old days, you know, we had back in the old days, we had things to do after school.
That's
we
right.
had teen posts. We had extracurricular activities. So we had, everybody had in my neighborhood, we all had some type of instrument because we was gonna be cool in the gang,
That's
or John
right.
Coltrane or something.
That's right.
But see, they cut all of that.
Well, they took out music and they took out art. Why?
Yeah.
Think about that. Folks, anybody? Why?
Why do you think they took it all out?
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, and I will too. Go ahead.
You go
No.
first, ladies
Okay.
first. You go first.
So my position on this is, what does music and what does art do? Both of which I grew up with. Okay, my
Yes.
father's a musician and a composer. I will tell you, your mind becomes creative.
You're being
It becomes
programmed.
filled. It thinks beyond the possibilities, beyond what you can see. You start painting things that you've never even seen yet. And that's what it does. It brings you out into it opens up a world. It soothes you, music. It just gets you thinking. It brings you love and all sorts of beauty into your mind, into your heart. You take that away.
Right.
Look around, folks. They're robots. I leave my house. I
right.
look around. I'm looking at robots. They don't look at each other anymore. When I grew up, we used to say good morning, good afternoon.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yes. Now, you say something like that in California, they're going to call the police and have you arrested. Yeah. You were clearly on drugs or you were trying to rob them. One of the two.
Right, exactly.
That's it. I moved here. I was shell-shocked because nobody says hello.
Yeah.
I let somebody go on the road. I did it today. Somebody lets me go, I'm putting my hand up.
Right. Well, you know, Southern California, I was born and raised here, and I moved to Pomona at about the age of 12 or 13. Ran into a culture shock. There was 3 blacks on our street, and I was known. Then they let me know who I was.
Really?
Yeah, we had the American Nazi Party would come through the community.
Oh, my God.
And they would put stickers on the walls.
Oh, my God.
Niggas, hands off whites, go back to Africa
Oh, my
or
God.
die. This was Pomona, California. Now, people talk about you got to go to the South. No, you go to Southern California. It's right. It was right here. But I just like to say that, you know, there's so many different topics. And like on Saturday nights, when we get to Donnie D's Words of Wisdom with the Admiral, Tammy, and Mr. Smooth. I'm just playing around now, but this is a serious subject. This is a serious subject. We get deep into it every week.
Yeah.
And, you know, Tammy's been on the show before.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's something that we've got to bring out. I mean, if nobody says nothing and everybody sits back, one day, the ones who were saying, yeah, those bad kids, they need to be locked up. One day it's going to be your kid.
That's right.
This is going to get locked up.
And one day, my daughter always says, guess what? You allow it, silence is guilt, okay?
Exactly.
Silence is guilt. And guess what? Those kids are going to be marrying your kids.
Right.
And so whether you think you've sheltered your children or not, you're not going to shelter them because they're going to go to school with them and they're going to be subjected to what you allowed, because no kid is guilty of anything, okay? It is implemented. No kid lies normally. They don't like to lie. On the contrary, right? From the mouth of babes, that came from children just looking and telling it like it was, whether it hurt or not. They were being truthful. They are taught to lie. They are groomed by a society that wants them to be bad, act bad, get in trouble, because we need to keep our jobs.
Yeah. You know, because, you know.
There you go.
And like
there you go.
I say, when I listen to, and back in a couple of years ago, I used to listen to hip-hop. And, you know, there's hip-hop, there's rap, and there's gangster rap. And, you know, people like to throw it all together.
Yeah.
But gangster rap, in my opinion, is just another bullet.
Form. Yes,
it's
it's
another
form.
bullet.
No, we're
to
not going
shoot.
to play. Yeah, this is not about any race, any color. Close your eyes, listen to the music. Doesn't matter who's singing it. If the words are so off that you want to get up, or you know your kid wants to get up and grab a gun, find a gun somewhere.
And that's what they talk
That's right.
about. I'm going to wet a wet T-shirt contest today. You know, they talk, some of it's in slang, but those guys on the street know the slang.
That's right.
And if 61-year-old Frank Lewis knows the slang,
that's right.
Everybody knows.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right. And whoever doesn't know the slang, they're going to find out because they want to be cool and know what the heck the song is about.
Right. Yeah. And all the music, you know what really gets me? I have 2 daughters. And girls nowadays are accepting the word. Can I say it on this show?
Yes, you can say it all.
Yeah, they are all right with being called a bitch.
That's right.
You know, and it's common.
They laugh about it.
Yeah, you know what? You're not. I tell the girls, you're not a bitch. Don't let that guy call you that. He has no respect for you when he's calling you that. And you know, you know, they show the videos of the twerking and all of this. Man, it's just like, come on now. Come on, you know, but, you know, who am I to say it? The kids say, you know, Brother Lewis, you old. You just don't get it no more.
Right. That's right.
That's how I got old.
That's right. Let me tell you something. Ladies, take back your damned pride. This is not a trendy thing. No. Okay? It's not prudish. I get called a prude sometimes, okay, because of my values.
No, it's taking back your power.
We are the power. Excuse me, Donnie, with all due respect, but I'm sure you know it if you're free to admit it and you don't mind. Women have always been the power in the world, okay? We are the...
You ain't kidding.
Yeah, we're the voice with the husbands when they come home while they hold the positions. They're saying, honey, what do I do? We're massaging and saying, here's the plan.
You know what? And you're absolutely right about that because we had a discussion about the Black Panther Party. And if you looked at the Black Panther Party, not what the media wants to tell you about,
right?
Not about, they won't tell you about the free breakfast programs,
that's right,
the after school programs,
that's right.
But all of the major people in there were women.
Yes.
Look at the pictures and look at who is this backbone of the Black Panther Party. It was women.
That's right.
You know, and I'm pretty sure that's, you know, in a lot of different organizations too. It's the women that are doing it. I was just telling Tammy with my show, Marsha, I couldn't do it without her.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. And this is not about what gender's better. I'm so sick of that nonsense because all it does is segregate once again. That is what they want. See, they'll put junk out there for us, and we are still naive enough to fall for it. The gay issue, the black issue, the Hispanic issue, the disabled,
the men against the women issue.
Yeah, the men, the gender, the elder versus younger, and close your damned eyes if you don't have enough strength and enough brains to know that it is implemented as a strategy for separation. We all have 2 arms and 2 legs, but we don't all. We all have a heart beating if we're still alive and our blood still runs warm. And we all are fighting for the same thing, which is the freedom that this country was established. Well, I can't.
You know, that American piece of the pie, you know.
Yeah.
But Tammy, we
stole it from the Indians. I can't even go there. You know what?
Yeah, let's don't go there.
I can't even go there because we robbed it. I'm sorry. I'm here now, but they robbed it.
Yeah, and they stole more than the pie.
Yeah.
But you know what? What you're saying is, and it's so true. If you have this group against that group, this group against that group, pretty soon everybody's fighting everybody.
That's what they want.
To destroy, you know, and conquer. You know, they've got the Bloods against Crips. Then they got Crips against the Cholos.
That's right.
Cholos against Cholos.
That's right.
Then here comes then the Asians, then the Armenians, then the girls, then the boys, then the gays.
And the Italians.
You know, everybody. So if we keep everybody fighting and everybody fighting for these crumbs off the table, and believe me, they're crumbs, ladies and gentlemen.
Crumbs.
Crumbs off the table.
Yes.
You know, we can keep control of this thing that we they call the United States government. But, you know, we know who runs what. You know, and
take them to court, Donnie. Take them to court.
Yes,
we the people. We the people.
What does it
cannot be we the people if we are separated,
right.
But we could. The beauty of it all, folks, is we can be we the people. Let's push it all aside. Let's just get together. We're not asking anybody to change your lifestyle, change your belief system. We're just saying, join in because it affects you. It affects your pockets. I don't care where you're living behind in a gated community. You're paying taxes for that one. By the way, it's $1.4 trillion per year. And in response to that question I put out there, and we didn't. I don't
Nobody
know
ever got the answer to it. I knew.
1.4 trillion a year. Okay.
I said 1.2 trillion.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, Amy! If we had a bowl here, you'd win it.
You won, girl.
Yes.
You won.
Maybe. I can't. You said trillion.
Yeah, trillion.
Amy said trillion.
With a T, like for Tammy. Trillion.
Yeah, but she said trillion. So
Yeah, she
you
said
didn't say
trillion.
1.3, Amy.
Yeah.
But
So-
you know,
Tammy?
but you,
Yes, Bill.
For evil to prevail,
Yes.
all that has to happen is good men and women do nothing.
That's
right.
Thank you. Who said it, Bill?
I don't know who said it, but I'll just say it again. And here we have an opportunity to come together. It doesn't matter what nationality we are, where we came from. We all have we're all good people, and we have to stand firm on doing the right thing.
well, Bill,
I think it's
Judy always
Martin. I'm
says
pulling it up.
Bill,
let me tell
The
you.
law is common sense and right and wrong.
And on this show today, we have unity.
That's right.
Well, you
We have
know,
unity.
That's right.
let me add a little something to that. You know, we had Ferguson, we had Baltimore, we had some New York City, and you know, we had a lot of things going on. But the beautiful thing about it was those people out there that were protesting and marching for what was happening to these young black unarmed males were white kids, black kids,
That's
Hispanic
right.
kids, older people, you know, men and
Male,
women,
the female.
People start to say, wait a minute. I started thinking to myself, man, we're going to get that same old spirit that we had back in the day.
Yes.
And I'm waiting before I go to meet my maker for that spirit to come back.
That's right.
'Cause it was, you know,
It was
got to.
beautiful.
Yes,
it was beautiful.
Yes.
I don't know if there was because
but
they were
Donnie-
smoking a little weed.
Donnie,
I don't know, but I'm just going to tell you. You know, everybody was a
They're not
flower
throwing a
child.
damper on this, Tammy. Not throwing a damper on this, but they indict them, but do they convict them?
That's the truth. Well,
Right. That's a good
right.
point.
That's exactly
See what
the
I'm saying?
thing.
Yes.
I'm a pessimist because I've been brought up in a
Well,
pessimist
you know,
area.
you brought up a good
So I'm
point,
always
and
looking for
it's
something
true. It's true, Gene.
That's right.
For the show to the people, yeah, we will indict them, and we'll indict them. But the only ones that I can remember that were ever convicted were the ones from Rodney King, and the federal government Justice Department had to come in after Simi Valley and put those guys behind bars where they had color
And
TVs.
Why is that, Donnie?
That's
Why
right.
did the Justice Department have to come in, Donnie?
I don't know.
Me and you from the streets, we know.
The
They don't riot,
videotapes.
so they don't. Yeah, so they don't riot. That's what it is, Donnie.
Right.
See, that's the key with the death of the justice system. We're going to show you the transcript on Tammy's show, Donnie's show, after we let the book out, of a forged federal trial done with 3 or 4 different typewriters. That's
Well,
Bill.
Gene,
So
Gene.
once you see this, that's why we did it that way. That's why we went in there and fought for 20 years, because we had to show that they're cheating. If your courts are cheating you, where are you going to go for help?
That's right.
Please tell me, Donnie.
What's the name of that book again?
I don't know. You got to ask Bill.
Admiral. Ensign.
The book's name is Death of the Justice System, second edition by Linda Aker. It's available from Crown Oak Press, www.CROWNOAKPRESS.com. And its phone number is 866-909-2665.
Let me give. Go ahead,
And
Bill.
when anybody missed it, they can tune in to Donnie D's Words of Wisdom tomorrow night
That's right.
at 7 o'clock, and we'll be back up here again.
That's right.
And here, give
And
Amy
Donnie,
a
how do people get your book?
Okay, thank
Yes,
you very
and
much.
we're gonna. John put it up. You know, it was up on screen. What a beautiful. I gotta say, guys, what a beautiful cover. That's I don't even.
Right,
I
thank
have
you.
no right to say that right now, but there was a beautiful cover. John's gonna put it up once again, but John just filled us in. The only thing necessary for triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Edmund Burke, folks. Edmund Burke.
Right.
All
yeah.
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
but you know what? Let's give credit to Amy. Amy put out the prototype design for our new cover. For the book.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And they followed that for her, and they had to do that from their print, their scripts they get from 90 for the transcripts and stuff. We got to give a little credit to Amy. She's got
a lot of
credit to
a
Amy.
lot of credit to Amy. Are you kidding? Listen.
No, I'm just saying. I just got to give her credit myself.
Well, you know what, Amy?
We know.
Amy, you've been kind of like that spark.
Yes.
That we needed.
That's right.
And
that's right.
you've come through with, you opened up my eyes to things that I really wasn't aware of. But getting back to your question, Amy, my book, Single Mother's Guide to Raising Black Boys, is available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Exlibris.com, or just go into your bookstore and order it. And catch up with me on Facebook. If you get a copy and you're somewhere in Southern California, I'll sign it for you and we'll talk about it. And maybe you can come and be a guest on the show. But I just say this, to say that is because when I wrote the book, I couldn't get anybody to have me on their shows. It was tough to get a radio interview, tough to get a TV interview.
Can we put him on? Can we put his book on again, John?
And I did it maybe.
John found his book. He's the best.
Well, John.
John.
Right on, John.
Yes, John is awesome. John is the
But
man.
the thing is that I did like 3 shows, and when I did I guess I can say a Mother Love show, things started to change, and it gave me the idea to start my own show, and it really was not too much of anything, me just reading from the book. Then I ran across Jose, and Jose, as you guys know, has deep cases going,
right?
And then he introduced me to you guys.
Wow.
And then, it's been from there. It's been a lovely ride. We've had half-an-hour shows. We used to do a half-an-hour show once a month.
Right.
Now we're an hour every week.
Look at this.
And you guys, and the thing is, I've never seen any one of you guys but Jose, and you guys have never seen me. But we could hug, shake hands,
that's right,
sit down, and break open a bottle of Moscato, and
yes,
and have something to eat.
I bought him one. I bought him one today. He's gonna be taking this bottle home with him, and
Remy Martin.
Remy Martin. That's the old school.
That's the old school.
Yeah, that's the old school stuff.
I can't do that no more.
Yeah, I think so too.
But they got the new white. They got the new white on. It's great.
Ah, my goodness, Eugene, you're old school, honey bunny.
Yeah. You'll have me dancing on the tables.
I really want to reiterate one more time to the listeners. This book is not just for single black mothers anymore.
That's right.
Oh, no.
It's for all single mothers.
There are no black mothers. There are no white mothers.
There
are mothers.
No, even though that's the title, this is an issue that's systemic, and it's affecting all of our children and our single mothers.
That's right.
So thank you so much, Donnie.
Well, thank you very much.
Donnie and Tammy, I got to tell you guys, without you guys doing shows like this, the truth would never come out. These two are some of the best. You own your own TV show. You should get on TV. And Amy, you're a regular mother, and I think you're terrific at the job you do with your son. And I think you've been through a lot. And if there's anybody that's a regular mother, it's Amy.
Yeah, that's right. That traditional mom. That traditional mom.
Right.
And can we give any good news now, or should we wait, Amy? Can we?
No.
Can I?
I have good news.
Yeah,
for our
Amy
listeners.
has good news, and folks, pay attention because indeed this is wonderful news, and this is why we're doing the work that we're doing. Okay, so go ahead, Amy.
This Monday, my case of almost 4 years closed with Children's Court.
It was terminated.
Oh, very good.
It was terminated, and I got full
legal
sole custody of my son.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
It has been a
fight. All right.
A fight.
Woo, woo,
yes.
woo,
Yes.
woo, woo, woo.
This this is what it's about, folks. This is what it's all about.
Yes.
If not for this, then there's no sense in having this talk.
That's right.
We don't need to do this.
Don't need it.
We need victories.
And we've got the victory.
Yes. This is a victory. I had a victory a couple of months ago. There was another victory. But we don't want the crumbs, like Donnie said.
Yeah,
we don't want the crumbs.
off the table.
The crumbs leave us what? Hungry.
For
Right? Starving, but living. Living and surviving. But never feeling full.
Right. In this country, there's no need for that. You know, in this country where we have people sleeping up on the freeways, we have people with not enough to eat, but we can spend $1 million on a bomb. You know, it doesn't make sense to me, man. You know, it doesn't make sense whatsoever. But, you know, I would just like to also throw in there that the book, you know, as when I wrote the book several years ago, when I wrote it, I was thinking of my mother who had just passed, being a single mother of 5.
I'm sorry, honey.
Thank you. And she came from the welfare road all the way up to becoming an RN. So, you know,
beautiful.
That proved to me right then and there that things can be done. You don't have to do that. And I also found out that when she moved to Pomona, which I hated, you know, that was something that had to go down in my life. Because if I wouldn't have lived in Pomona, I wouldn't be sitting here on these microphones right now.
Right, that's
right. I wouldn't have got the education that I needed to get in a small town like that in Southern California. But, you know, anyone out there that wants to get deep into this tomorrow night, we start at 6 o'clock with words of, actually we start off with a pastor tomorrow night, and then we'll move into a Dr. Greenberg. She's going to talk a little bit about vaccinations. That's a deep subject right there.
I think I know a Dr. Greenberg. She's Los Angeles County?
She works right here in L.A. Yeah.
Wow. So
she worked with Amy, what's her name? Heidi Fleiss's father, the doctor.
That's where, guess what? I just read about her last night. That's where I know the name. Hello, I've got an article probably still up on my thing here because I was reading because Heidi Fleiss, we're looking at some stuff, you know.
Yeah, her father.
Always looking.
Yeah, her father's a doctor. But I used to work with Greenberg's son, and I brought him from a 13-year-old not speaking too much into a sharp young man today under my tutelage. And
awesome.
And there's pictures of he and his mother. She's Jewish. And when he walks out the door, he's a black man.
Yeah.
You know, he lives with all Jewish family.
Yeah.
But when he walks out that door and hits some streets, he's black.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and I had to teach him that.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But she'll be here tomorrow night. A lot of people have a lot of things to talk about. Vaccination, pro or con. So, you know, that's something. Now, then we're getting into the meat of the show. Yeah. And what is and Amy, what is the meat of the show?
Amy girl, she's got us on mute right now.
Yes, I'm here.
What is the meat of the show?
Yes, it's the justice system.
Oh,
Thank you,
ding,
Bill.
ding, 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 ding.
Thank you, Bill.
Everyone, the listeners, that is
the drive.
That is what is going to make us a success.
Yes.
Right.
That's the truth is going to come out. And I'm going to tell you guys.
The fraud and the waste of federal tax money.
Yes, and we don't want to give a third of our money. Just because we're working, we don't feel anymore quite like giving a third of our pay for the $1.4 trillion that we pay, that we work for you to steal our children, for us to pay to be duped more, bamboozled more in the courtroom, pay the attorney. The judges are getting this. Who's getting this? Who's on first?
Right. Everybody's getting a piece of that.
Except for us.
Yes, right. And what we getting a piece of is the boot and ass.
Yes.
That's what we getting a piece of.
That's right. And we don't
Excuse
want
me,
it.
ladies and gentlemen.
Donnie's very cool.
But seriously, that's going to be their demise because,
Yes.
when people start learning and they read the death of the justice system and they start learning how to see the fraud in their cases, see the case fixing, where they inject other cases into your case so that they can get approved federal funding. You'll be able to recognize all this stuff.
That's right.
You'll be able to report it to the state controller, which is where you report waste. These are things you can do to empower yourself in your case. Instead of just Another thing I want to bring up, Tammy, really quick, and just touch on this very quickly.
Go ahead, honey. Talk to us.
This is something that I'm constantly being I come up against is NLA members. I had a situation today, and these people really need to read the fine print.
Okay, who are these people? Who's these people, honey? Now I'm going to go into my court mode, my factual mode.
Yeah.
Chicago
the parents that are
Judge Tammy.
They're so desperate. They're so desperate to unite and expose what's going on. But the NLA is actually helping these parents further down the rabbit hole.
Who's the NLA,
Oh,
honey?
yes.
Who's the NLA?
Yeah.
Who's the NLA?
The National Liberty Alliance.
Yes,
National
indeed.
Liberty Alliance.
Those
And what did
good
we
old
find
boys.
out? What did we have a discussion about this? And Donnie D, I'm going to say, was very optimistic and thought that this could all be, just smoothed over and that there's a logical explanation because that's what we all should. The end result should be that there was a logical explanation. There was just a misunderstanding. But in this case, deceit is a devil.
Yeah,
Deceit is a devil.
Well, let me tell you, Tammy.
Tammy, ask Amy what they told her in court, that she was obsessed with the tapes, right, Amy? Tell them.
They brought up the court issue 3 times. They told me that they mentioned that I was obsessed with the tapes, getting my audio tapes, and when they actually asked me to go up to the stand, I sat down and I very obnoxiously tapped on the
microphone.
The microphone.
Yes.
Very loud.
Good. so that when you're listening to the tape that you will get, you'll know right at what point. I hope you looked at your watch, tapped on the microphone, so you'd know exactly what time it was during that part of the audio.
Yes, and folks, those microphones that you're speaking into, they're not so that everybody in the courtroom can hear you.
No, definitely not.
That's your audio. That's the audio tape.
That's right.
Of your testimony.
That's right.
And the judges.
The judge is not hard of hearing.
No.
The attorneys are not hard of hearing.
So I have a question to pose out there.
The audio is the essential admissible material, facts, and evidence.
Listen. What are we gonna do? I mean, we can come on the radio every week.
That's right.
And we can talk about what we're gonna do and read my book, read the other book.
That's right.
But we also need to get some type of communication or some type of organization, something to make sure that these things that are in these books are carried out. We could sell 100,000 books, and
Donnie,
maybe nobody would take it to heart. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
That's right.
Donnie, you got to realize that when they don't give your audio tape, every one of your cases becomes a federal case. It's under the First Amendment. Now the point is, I'm already sitting up there, and they're hiding my case in the Supreme Court. If they rule on it like Roe versus Wade, everybody's got to turn over their tapes, and then it's over for them. And they can't rule against that. It's just got to be brought out in public interest. That's why I stood 20 years in the game. Didn't take money, didn't take anything for it, stood there.
Right.
So in other words, when a judge tells you, I can't give you the tape because everybody will want their tapes and they'll be playing them on TV, why would they be playing them on TV every channel every night, Donnie? because there's something wrong with them. If they were right, they wouldn't play about TV, would
Okay,
they?
okay. Well,
So
let me pose this other question to you. And I know Tammy has a little something to add to this. Now, remember we did an experiment with Shake and Wake Radio, and they kept drilling on this one guy, and I'm gonna say his name, John Darash, and his organization, National Liberty Alliance, and they tried to make it sound like it was just the best thing that ever happened. You know, a grand jury. What kind of grand jury do they call it?
Common law grand jury.
Common law grand
Yes.
jury. Now,
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, every time one of these cops did something, the grand jury was letting them off. So how was this going to be such a great thing, you know, with these grand juries? But then we come to find out that they're asking you to sign over your, what is it, Tammy? Sign over your...
Your rights. You're signing over that power. They're making you.
No, not just power of attorney. I want to be very specific
Okay.
with the verbiage. And Tammy understands this. Unlimited power of attorney.
Unlimited.
And you
That's
can
right.
define that.
Unlimited.
Unrestricted
That's right.
power of attorney.
So
Right.
that means I can't sell my car unless I get permission from them?
Well, it means that you can do whatever you want to do,
Uh-huh.
but if they come in and say, this is not going to happen, then it's not going to happen because they have the power. When your attorney goes in for you in that court of law, and anybody who's been before a court and had an attorney and wanted to say something extra as they were listening to all these legalese word plays going on, and you were pulling on your attorney's lapel saying, wait a minute, tell the judge this.
Right.
Wait a minute, say this to opposing counsel. Wait a minute, this is... And he's going, shh, 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 or she, shh, 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 I'll handle this.
Yeah.
Why? Because they've got the power.
Right.
They have the power.
Right.
Let me.
And I want to say something too. When you sign the agreement, their agreement signing over your power of attorney.
That's right.
Those attorneys represent you, and you forego the right to request your audio tapes.
Donnie, that's why I was pro se, and I did my own case,
And that's when you won, Eugene, right?
And that's when I whipped their butt. And I was the only
Six
one that ever
attorneys
whipped them, and
later,
here's the
right?
deal.
6 attorneys,
Here's the
7
thing.
attorneys, right?
Yeah, I had 6 or 7. But see, they were good for 3 months. You know, see, you know what I do? I ask them a question the first time I come in, and then after 90 days, ask them the same question a different way. When they answer different, then I know it's time to get rid of him, keep his stuff, and go on and on and on.
Well,
and then I had a whole case done for myself.
He
and then I
brings up
just
a good
took it in
point.
and did it and won.
He brings
and
up a good
the point
point.
was you got to realize what they're doing over there. You got to realize how the game is being played. When you're blamed for something and you defend it, you're defending something you didn't do.
Yeah.
You got to attack them to show you what you really did do. Prove I did this first, and
That's
then
right.
we'll do the game. And that's how you play the game. You got to go against what they're doing. And the lawyers are not going to do that. They can't do it. They want to make a living.
Well, let me tell you.
The point is all these.
Let me tell you something. I'm sorry if I cut you off.
And also, unrestricted power of attorney.
Wow.
If someone dies in your family while you're under that contract, they have rights to your estate.
Everything.
They have rights to
Everything. Everything. Your taxes.
Amy.
Listen,
So-
everything.
So we need to let it be known. Do not deal with National Liberty Alliance. I say it again. Do not mess with National Liberty Alliance.
We are sorry.
Yeah,
We're
don't-
sorry, but when
don't.
they start directing and saying we want to help you, we see that
No.
you've been victimized. We've read the court documents that they're giving us, that you've given us, and we almost feel a teardrop in the corner of our left eye.
Yeah, almost.
Right?
Almost.
But, and we're going to help
yeah,
you. We just need for you to sign on this dotted line.
You know, and I want to.
And I am gonna continue to speak out on this because I don't want to see parents get re-victimized. And even if they do win the class action, the majority of that money goes back into the NLA. They will not get anything.
Which is shocking to me.
And they're not just
Shocking.
in there. It's going into couple of people's pockets,
Yeah, well,
not
the
the whole
NLA
organization.
is a couple of people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could start an organization.
That's right.
And call it whatever.
That's right.
And keep everybody's money, but that's what they did. But let me tell a quick story. Someone was just talking about how the lawyers and that was you, Tammy.
Oh, that was me?
You were ticking on their, let me hang this up. They were ticking, you asking them all these different questions about your case. Well, I had a case. And
yeah, Donnie,
it was a case on possession. So I went to the court with my public defender, and I said, I want a jury of my peers, man. I don't want just this judge.
Right.
Because I know Judge Pyatt I know what he's all about. So the public defender was reluctant to say something. I'm like, hey, man. So anyway, he said,
right.
Mr. Lewis would like to have a jury of his peers. And he said, well, what does he mean by a jury of his peers? I said, well, I'd like to see some black people sitting on
Good for you.
On this jury as my peers.
Good for you.
But do you know what the judge said?
What?
Well, if I put some blacks on the jury, how do I know that they're not drug users also?
Oh, my God.
I said, so I turned and I looked at the public pretender.
Yeah, that's right, public pretender.
I looked at him. I said, man, how can I get a fair trial when this man feels that all black people are on drugs?
Yes.
And I said, you need to tell him that. And he told him that, and case was dropped.
Yes.
Straight up.
Because they knew you were talking the talk that would have gotten them all in trouble.
Yes.
It would have gotten them all in trouble.
Yes. All black people are on drugs, And I'm going to get a fair trial from you.
Donnie, there's a guy out there in Chapman College that we got him stealing an audio tape out, and he's a teacher. Now, he stole the audio tape out of the appellate court in Chicago. None of the U.S. attorneys would go after him because it would go too high then.
Wow.
But see, that crime is never over. Anytime there's fraud in the court, those cases stand forever because it's an ongoing crime. Because anybody that takes that case out and looks at the decision is making a wrong decision in another case.
Right.
And that's what we're going to prove in this book when we show you all this stuff. And people are going to be shocked by this because we had to work on it to get this stuff, to get a forged transcript, to get one that's been done with 3 different typewriters that's all messed up. This was hard to do. I mean, I don't know anybody else that ever did it.
I know. I'm not a crook.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys this. We've got to go in a minute. UBN Radio, as usual, okay, promotes and pushes for we the people, for justice, for honesty, for transparency, for the safety of children, and for people to be given a fair shot. Not extra.
Yeah.
We're not asking for extra. We're just asking for our portion that is rightfully ours. We're not looking for handouts here. Okay? And I will tell you, UBN really, I'm truly grateful. All the stardom. I'm not a star girl. Never have been, never will be. I'm here not because this was my dream or this was my direction, but because UBN really said people need to know what's happening with the children.
Yes.
People need to know.
And they do need to know.
They need to know.
But Tammy, you are going to have to grow, and you do need your own TV show.
I agree.
Donnie is your co-host.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It'd be my honor. You guys, listen. John's got me on a roll. Who first mentioned? Oh, Bill. Mr. Bill. Bill, you really utilize that God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I know you're taking this all in. You're probably the wisest of all of us. The quiet one that sits and listens and listens and listens. I want to always have a chat privately with them because they have, as long as they're paying attention, of course, and they're not passed out, right?
I'm still here.
Oh, I know you are,
Yeah,
honey.
you ain't going nowhere.
I know you are. Anyway, you brought that up. John, who is sitting right across from me that nobody ever sees, that really keeps everything going and donates his time. Donates, okay? He gets paid for everything he does except for the show. John has been donating his time because he truly cares about this issue. And
All
folks,
right, John. I'm down for you, man.
Yeah, John really
you.
needs to, It's the behind the scenes people. You never see them. You don't know that they exist, but they are the ones who are running this all.
Right.
Talking is the easy part, right?
Yeah, they're the backbone of what we need to put out there.
Yes, and that's the real deal. So it's really important. You know, Tony Sweet, you guys, Tony has a show that he has, he's taken it to a different level. He's got a couple of shows, and he's one of the owners here. And I will tell you, Tony Sweet is a fabulous guy. Ann Walker, who is now, what is Ann Walker's, what's Ann's?
Founder.
What is it?
Founder.
Yeah, I know she's a founder, but what is the new show that she's doing?
Same show.
No, not here.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Oh, it's Sordid Lives Wedding.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sordid Lives Wedding. Oh my gosh, guys, this is going to be a comedy of comedy.
Ooh.
Ann, I love Ann Walker. She still has the show here, but she left to continue with. I mean, she's been in movies with Steve Martin and you name it. Ann's been all over. Ann is just a lovely lady that pushed for this, and Tony Sweet, and John is the backbone that donates. And, you know, Donnie D, he is fighting the good fight. He is getting the wisdom out there. Amy is always promoting, pushing, teaching. Eugene had a fight for 20 years that he said, get out all the attorneys and everybody who knows and he's got this certificate that you hang up on your wall while you're jabbing me in my back. Yep, move aside because I'll take over from here.
Backstabbers.
And Mr. Bill, who is like the glue and the kind heart and the man who just says, I know somebody else is having a tough day, but don't worry about it. I'll take care of it, and tomorrow's going to be a better day, and he's our prayer warrior. You know, there's so many great components, and it's just, we're growing.
Tammy.
Yes, sir.
How can any of my listeners listen to you? How can they listen to you?
Just open their ears.
But okay, what time do you...
Okay, every Friday night, we are here at www.u, as in Universal, BN, Universal Broadcasting Network, Radio, ubnradio.com. I'm on Channel 2, 7 p.m., Friday nights. It's early enough if you ladies got to go out. If you gentlemen have a hot date, it's early enough to catch me. But if you don't get a chance and you're busy, iTunes, podcast, Stitcher, help me out, John.
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube is live on camera, so you can actually see and hear, which is lovely. We're using all of our senses. iTunes, Stitcher. You come to UBN and write directly to www.ubn.com, and we've got the archived shows.
Oh, okay.
But you're driving to work, you've got the YouTube, iTunes going, you can listen to it and drive, and you're not taking any time. Everybody's busy, everybody's got something going on.
So if someone wants to hear this show that we just did tonight, and somebody asked me tomorrow, hey, I missed the show, how can I get to it?
Any of those that I just said, but I upload it to the National Safe Child Show.
Okay.
Has a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. YouTube. That's the best way.
YouTube channel that you'll be able to see Donnie's handsome face.
Da-da.
Da-da. And be able to see it. Okay. And so that is the live exactly as we are today.
Okay.
Anything else? You can listen.
Well, all I got to do is say one thing to you, Tammy, is what are we going to do about this?
That's right.
We have to do something.
That's right.
What are we going to do? And it's the power of the people to do it. And if they're cheating us in court, we got to go over there and make sure the courts don't cheat you no more or put anybody through all this with the children and stuff like that. Because it all starts with the court system and ends with the court system.
Yes.
That's what our country's based on. And if we don't have it, we don't have a country.
That's right.
You know, some of the most famous words ever spoken, and it's true today, and that is Power to the people.
Power
You got it,
to
big guy.
the people.
Right.
It's time,
and them women
folks.
are tough, including Amy and Tammy. And I'm telling you, these are two tough women, and they're on the top 5 people of the death of the justice system.
Yeah, right.
I'm
on.
I
into
gotta keep
that
my
one.
hands off to these guys.
Listen, I gotta just say a couple of quotes. Edmund Burke. Listen, he might be one of my new old time. He's old school. 1800. When is 1700? 1729. 1729, folks. Died in 1797, and he knew what time of day it was back then. Back then, listen. Whenever a separation, these are his quotes. Whenever a separation is made between liberty and justice, neither, in my opinion, is safe. Hello.
Well,
Yeah.
We're not safe.
Well, how about this, Tammy? What about this one? How about the quote from this little girl, Hannah, when she says, when everybody's guilty, nobody's guilty?
Thank you. Beautiful.
All right.
I love that. When everybody's guilty, nobody's guilty.
I like that one too.
Me too. Listen, the people never give up their liberties, but under some delusion. Hello, folks. Come out and take the freaking red pill, okay? Take the red pill. Come on out of the matrix.
I got one
Okay, good.
by a great rap philosopher, spoken word man, the late great Gil Scott Heron. The revolution will not be televised because it will be live.
It will be live. I love
That
that.
got the Admiral up.
That's
That got
right.
the Admiral up.
Okay, what do we got?
I've got one.
All right.
And Tammy and everybody else, the power to the people. Who were the people in the future except for our own children today?
Amen to that one.
We're preserving our future, or the people, by protecting our children today. This is what it's all about.
That's right.
And Gene and I are getting this book out. After the book is out, the Death of the Justice System, Volume 2 of the second edition, because the second edition was too big to put on ebook.
That's right.
We have to split the case up the book up into Volume 1, Volume 2, and we're going to put out Volume 1 with the ebook and the written book for everybody to get their teeth wet on it, and then the next step after that, I think, will be approaching Chapman College with Larry Rosenthal, who stole the tape out of the Seventh Circuit Court in Chicago, and ask him what's he going to do with it. A fraud, or thievery, or trespass is a fraud that's continuing, and that fraud in Gene's case is continuing on today.
Oh,
And I think that would be the second step.
If they would have stopped it in 97, you wouldn't be going through what Amy's going through today, because you would have had the tapes out already.
Burke was
So
talking
Channel
about
said-
it, my dear, in the 1700s. Our liberties were
That's
being
right.
stripped. Then,
Yeah.
that's why the quotes are still in existence. John wanted to, let's not forget about John, the backbone that we've all been, hurraying about, because he sends me the private message. So this one is John's. Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could not do only a little. Edmund Burke.
Right.
Nobody made a greater mistake. Think about that. And you know what? That is so true.
Hey,
I can't take that on. I don't have the time. I can't do this. I don't know how to. Guess what? Take one little grain, and you take another. You take a piece, a little grain, and you take a grain, and we'll have a beach.
Yes.
And then we can lay out with some margaritas.
Ow!
Because I
Let me tell
want to
you,
lay out.
Even though I haven't
Ow!
seen you guys, I don't know 4 better people than you guys, and more honest than ever I've seen in my lifetime from where I grew up from. I'm telling you right now.
All
I
right.
grew up in the heart of Chicago, Chirac. And that's where I-
Chirac, that's right, man. Chirac. The new,
Yeah,
yeah.
you four
I've
are
got it.
terrific.
I've got a quote from Mama Bear Justice.
Even a
This
rat.
is the quote.
Oh
it's
my
by
God, I
Lauren
love it, John.
Bacall.
Go ahead.
And if you're thinking that your silence is going to somehow help you, you're dead wrong. And the quote in Mama Bear Justice is, "You don't always win your battles, but it's good to know that you fought." And that's Lauren Bacall.
And you'll never
I
win.
encourage-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lauren Bacall. I encourage everyone listening out there to get The Death of the Justice System and The Single Mother's Guide to Raising Black Boys, because
Absolutely.
you know the children are our future.
That's right.
And these books are going to empower you.
Yes,
They're
they
going to
will.
empower
And our
you.
children need
And
direction.
it's a how-to book. They're going to give you real solutions, and it's this is to empower the individual.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. I got one more. By gnawing through a dike, even a rat may drown a nation. Hello.
Oh, I think one rat did try.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a crook.
Yeah.
There was another one after him. It's just that with a bee. A bird in the hand is better than one in the bush. But
Yeah. There you go.
this guy sitting behind over there is a heavy dude.
He's a heavy dude. Don't be fooled.
No,
Yeah.
I'm judging a book by its
Yeah,
cover.
No. There you go. That's right. I love that. That's
All
right.
man.
And
You want to come work for me, man?
I know.
Volunteer for me, whatever.
No, don't take my John. Don't be fooled by my size. I will. That's when we get.
They say don't judge this book by its cover.
Don't judge this book. That's for darn sure.
I have a quote.
Yes, and then we've got to listen. We have been on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost 9:00.
No joke.
Whoa.
No
I
joke.
got to be up at 5 in the morning.
Oh.
Yes.
That makes it 11 here. My God.
Jeez.
Time flies when you're actually speaking about something interesting, doesn't it?
Whoa,
Isn't that
doesn't it?
I'm
nice?
working with interesting people. These are all interesting people to me.
Bill-
I have a quote.
Yes, sir.
The quote is, "It's very difficult to deceive a Bible-reading populace." Think about that. All the principles that we're talking about are in the Word of God.
Hey, man, I agree.
Yes.
When we read the book, the Bible, the Word of God, it foretells everything that they're talking about. They talk about the Sadducees and Pharisees in the time of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going today.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to deceive and to lie to a Bible-reading populace.
Well, and I do have to interject a bit. Forgive me, folks.
Don't do your thing.
Okay, so remember, evil, Jesus said they will come dressed in the sheep's clothing. Who are they? The wolves, right?
Right.
They will use religion because when people walk through those doors, what happens? You put everything down because you're with God. And I am sorry, I was duped by a church for a long time, for many years, okay, that did terrible things to people, underhanded. God didn't do those things, and I make no mistake.
No, yeah, that was man.
Man did those things. Man does use religion as a means to make somebody vulnerable. So I am a believer, 100%, but I'm a believer in the universe because God said, I am everywhere. Is there anywhere that I am not?
And you bring up a good point. And I'm a Christian, and I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. But I also know that men have used those same words to enslave millions of people and tell you that you'll get your heaven when you die, while I have my heaven right now.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
That's man. It's,
That's man's.
Man, they put names and labels on the word of God for their, once again, that almighty dollar.
That's right.
But, like I said, slavery.
So I pray daily. Make no mistake. I have to pray daily.
Amen.
Okay, because I need the light, because I'm working in a very dark and ugly environment. Okay, but the bottom line is I'm not praying through somebody standing up somewhere giving me directives, another flawed human being,
right,
telling me how wrong I am, while he is standing up there. You've got I'm not even going to point out groups. Religion as a whole has become flawed. God is not flawed. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah.
God is not flawed. Religion is. Yesterday I found out, amazingly, Ancestry.com. Everybody heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
Ancestry.com. Remember carefully, because right now, DNA, it can set you free, right? That same DNA can bind you, right? The blood.
Right.
Jesus spoke about the blood.
The blood.
The blood will save you. You need the blood to be forgiven. There's so much about blood. Well, the Mormons own and run and started, forgive me, folks, whoever's Mormon, I'm just telling it like it is. Ancestry.com as a means to find out bloodlines. Now, it's got me a little bit worried, and I'll tell you, I've got some whistleblowers that for the past couple of days have reached out to me because it goes a lot further than that. But so I'm just going to put this out there right now. But Ancestry.com, folks, you need to go on and look. They have a free portion because I went on and looked, and I was amazed at what I could find. Okay? Scared, amazed. So they are looking at bloodlines. Okay? They are picking and choosing. My ex is Asian. Okay? When I went to Korea, Koreans look at, when you're filling out an application, there's a question. What is your blood type? When you're in Korea, you want a job? You had better prove your blood type.
Oh, interesting.
Because everything is measured. Type A is a certain personality. Proven across the board.
Yeah.
This is real. This is scientifically proven, folks, if you guys don't know. I know because I was married to an Asian. Blood type B, type O, AB negative, this, that. Koreans will only pick certain blood types from managerial positions. Will only.
You learn something every day, I'm telling you.
Through the blood, folks.
The blood.
Yes. Ancestry.com. We've got to get off this air because we have been given an umbrella of beauty and humility and love and grace, and
It's been wonderful.
Oh gosh, it has been wonderful. I'm so honored. This has been such a fun show, so enlightening, so informative, and there's energy here. There's great energy.
Can you feel it?
Yeah.
I can feel it.
There you go.
Can you feel it?
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Woo!
Thank you for listening to the National Safe Child Show on UBN Radio. For past episodes, visit the archives on ubnradio.com. And for more information, go to nationalsafechildcoalition.com.
Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.